Hello, everyone. This is DeRionne greeting you from my office. And today, on Tuesday, June 21st, wanted to share with you an update. First of all, you all know that it's been a little time since you've last seen me. This extended over 2 weeks. I was supposed to have updated the college communities I do each week, but I want to share with you that I actually had COVID. So it took me away from the campus for a little bit over a week. And I want to tell you that's informing me in a couple of things, which I'm going to come back to momentarily, about our need not to lose vigilance. Even as I've sat here each week and talked to you about that, there's an opportunity here that each of us has in making sure that we're doing the collective work of our own health, but as well as of our community. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. But let me share with you a couple of things that happened prior to my being away. I spent time in Reno prior to our quarterly meeting of the Board of Regents, where I'm doing the work I think is necessary of continuing to expand our presence as we have a statewide mission here at Nevada State, thinking deeply and learning about the various cultures and subcultures of our community, and in particular that of the North, as it is called, and to understand what Reno is about. So I spent time with some of our business leaders there, some community leaders, understanding their perspectives, touring and getting a feel for the vibe of that. I'll also tell you I met with my Northern Board of Counselors in their inaugural meeting to understand and hear their perspectives as I shared how I see Nevada State as it is now, but also importantly solicited their feedback about how we might better position ourselves for the future. Wonderful conversation. I look forward to more of those in the future. And then I attended the INCHI Board of Regents meeting. At that time, as you know, our Board of Regents appointed a new, I think it was acting chancellor for the system, Mr. Dale Urquiaga. We're so excited to welcome him. I look forward to working with him and his expertise and insight that he has into this region. They also, the board re-elected Chair Kathy McAdoo as the chair, and then elected Regent Amy Carvalho as the vice chair. I want to congratulate both of them. I think that leadership requires commitment and effort around the work we do. So I'm excited that they have accepted the opportunity to serve in that role. We also heard from Provost Shields, who did a presentation as a part of a group with our regents around some work that we're doing in workforce development at the 4-year level. And then we also started some initial conversations regarding our educational specialist degree. So it was a robust week in Reno. And then I came home and was sick and stayed at home in bed. Even got still a little bit of congestion, but I'm doing well. And I'm very grateful just having a conversation with Dr. Amber about the timing of this. 2.5 years, I managed to go without getting COVID, and lo and behold, I did. But I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the fact that I had been immunized and also had been boosted. I'm grateful that I have an employer that allowed me to be able to recuperate, and I had sick leave to be at home. I'm grateful that I was in a community of people who understood and valued that and honored me getting well. So I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. In the midst of that, though, I'm continuing this week to come back and get caught up, email, but lots of meetings that had to be rescheduled. So I'm meeting with the executive team as a group and also doing a number of one-on-ones. I'm having some very intensive conversations over the next week about some key partnerships and preparing for some speaking engagements, which you'll hear more about next time. Externally, I did participate in the LVGA board meeting. I got to hear about some good work they're doing around economic and workforce development. Our collaboration, presidents forum that we had with the presidents of CSN and UNLV with me, talking about workforce development and really lifting up some of the work that we're doing with lots of different folks. I serve on the board nationally of Generation Hope, which is a nonprofit that is looking at supporting parenting college students. So I'm very excited to rejoin that group and to really talk about what that means, because that is a part of the new majority that we serve in higher education. And then I also had the opportunity to meet with Senator Dallas Harris, one of our state senators here. Great opportunity to understand her perspectives about Nevada and our region, and being very thoughtful about the upcoming legislative season. So some observations I'll share with you. I think many of us right now are taking some time to regroup, and as one semester or the academic year comes into end, we start immediately planning for the next one. And I'm in that mode and looking forward to continuing to do that work over the summer. But I'm also thinking deliberately about the path and staying clear to that and staying true to it. A part of that is this very thoughtful conversation around public health and COVID. We're continuing to watch those numbers, and the Board of Regents has provided the presidents with some autonomy in terms of how we can help make some decisions, or how we can make decisions as it relates to our campus. And you're going to be hearing more about that. We have to remain vigilant in this space, being thoughtful about masking and social distancing and washing hands and paying attention to where you are in spaces, and also taking care of ourselves when we get sick. If you're sick, stay at home and make sure that you are following the protocols. And important, reporting yourself to that. I just found out today that I was supposed to do that, so I'm going to be reporting to our line so that we can have that as well. We also had a national holiday of Juneteenth that took place, and while I didn't participate in events publicly, we did special activities at home, and it was a great opportunity for us to recognize where we have come and the journeys that go with that, and the fact that as a country we could have made a decision and 2 years later still have people not know that that decision had been made. So it's important for us to think about communication, to be very thoughtful, to recognize history and where we've come from and the communal nature of that. Let me end. A very special friend of mine is reading a book, and he made me think about it because this book by Bell Hooks, All About Love, I pulled it back out as a result. Of course, I'm one of these people, I annotate the whole time I'm reading a book, but I saw something and it makes me think about this last point about mutuality and our commitments to each other. And chapter 8, she has one on community, and she calls it loving communion, but she starts with a quote by Parker Palmer. For those of you who haven't read Parker Palmer, I would encourage you to do so. One of the great minds around teaching and around what happens in classrooms and liberatory education. But he says in this quote here that I'll end with, he says, community cannot take root in a divided life. Long before community assumes external shape and form, it must be present as a seed in the undivided self. Only as we are in communion with ourselves can we find community with others. I love that notion that oftentimes we think of them as unrelated. This idea of taking the time to be reflective and being in communion with yourself. It is then and only then that you understand the mutuality of our shared existence. So I hope that each of you are taking a little bit of time to stay in communion with yourself so that you understand that we are part of something bigger than all of us. And if we do it really, really well, I have a sneaking suspicion that Nevada State can change this region and perhaps the state itself. Because we will be in deep communion with the community we have the privilege of serving. Hope you all are taking care, and I'll see you soon.